Welcome to Project 4. My name is Amy. We're going to be doing some fun stuff today. All right. Let's open up Bridge and look at the folder that I handed out. I gave you a bunch of examples that I thought worked well with what I wanted you to do to the images. And I'm following along the handout, so if there's anything that we need to fix, we can fix and adjust. Let's go to the desktop. Look in here. This is an example from the book, and we'll come back to that. We have 3 exposures from the classroom in a book to make an HDR. We have a 1 exposure for an HDR, Instagram, Lomo, a couple for a pano, 1 that we're going to quad tone, 1 where we're going to select her and make her in focus, and then this person more out of focus, 1 that we're going to split tone, and 1 that we are going to make look vintage. Okay? All right. So let's start with mimicking depth of field. Okay. I'm going to grab Selective Focus, double click, and open it up in Photoshop.
No raw?
We can go to raw. We can go to raw.
Go to raw?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Because we are working with a photograph, it just makes sense to do the basic adjustments in Camera Raw first. So you can right click, open in Camera Raw, and let's review. We have the highlight shadow, the highlight clipping warning right here. The blue is the shadow clipping warning, right? That's the blue you see. That means that wherever this is, this red, is clipping on the histogram. And if you can pull it back, you should. So let's do that first. Let's see if we can get rid of some of that red. I'm going to check the white balance. Wow, that's pretty yellow. Let's take it down a little bit. She is wearing kind of a dirty yellow jacket. The highlight slider, if I drag that to the left, it will clean up this portion of our histogram. The shadows, I can open the shadows up in her face a little bit by dragging the shadow slider to the right. Clarity, I'm going to add a little bit of clarity, which increases the mid-tone contrast between pixels. And then I'm going to go to the tone curve and see what a medium contrast looks like. Looks pretty good. Now, I'm going to open this in Photoshop, and I want to open it in Photoshop in a way where I can go back into Camera Raw. So I do that by hitting Shift, and instead of opening an image, opening an object. And that opens my file as a smart object. So next thing I'm going to do is duplicate that. You hold on the Shift, and I'm taping this too, so just in case.
Don't ask me a question.
No, I don't mind. I figure, you know, people can hear me yelling and stuff. Now, I'm going to select this layer, and I'm going to convert it to a smart object for a smart filters. It's already converted, so if I want to convert for smart filters, already there. The next thing I'm going to do is go Filter, Sharpen, Unsharp Mask. And I'm going to use kind of a high amount here because I really want you to see it. When you place the mouse, the cursor, over this little panel and you hold it down, that shows you a before and after. So if you click on it, you can see the before, and then when you release, it's the after. So now she's really, really sharp. Okay? Again, I'm going a little bit excessive. You normally would not go this excessive. I never touch the radius. I never touch the radius is always 1 threshold. I usually leave it 0. I'm not even sure I can do this as like an example. All right, here we go. Hit OK. Now, I need another copy of this layer. So I'm going to drag that down and copy it again. There's one going around. When you guys get the Pooh Bear drive, can you give it to Grandma? I don't know who has it. We're going to select this second layer here, throw away the unsharp mask, and go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. And we are going to blur the hell out of it, just so we can see. All right, so like 13 will do. Hit OK. Now, the background in this case is realistically out of focus. What you would want to do normally is just have it look like you used a shallower depth of field in camera. Now, with this smart filter layer mask selected, you get the brush with an opacity of 100, go in and bring back the information that you want.
As a clip, as a mask, or just as a brush?
It is a brush on the layer mask.
So it layer masks automatically when you do the smart filter?
A smart filter automatically comes with the layer mask. Now, this can look very obvious. So what I like to do is start with my brush at 100% and then take the opacity down to maybe 65 and go a little bit around the edges with a little bit bigger brush. And then take the opacity down even more to maybe like 20 and then go around the rest of it. And by using all of those steps, you're going to get a much more realistic look. If you look at the layer mask here, you can see the black is at 100%, the next gray is maybe 60%, and then the very light gray is 20%. You can turn it off to see before and after. And that's how you do selective focus. In this case, again, I went very extreme with it. I would probably not go this extreme with it except to just show you the difference. Okay. Also, I might take the layer opacity down to maybe 70, and that is going to give you the effect you wanted, but it's not going to look at photoshopped. Okay? Any questions on that? All right.